from the Federal Reserve. Now they making you pay for the car again from your Federal Reserve notes. Once your car paid off, guess what? You ain't done because you still got to keep your insurance up and you still got to keep your registration current.
And
if your car's sitting on the street and your registration ain't current, they
gonna
take
it. Yep.
It's all set up.
Yep.
But I'll be looking at the way people are, and I'll be like, some of this stuff, even though it's oppressive, like if the government didn't do stuff like that, tow cars, it'd be all kind of junk cars on the side of the street.
He said I'll be looking at it a different way.
Mm-hmm. There'd be all kind of junk cars. I'll be like, because I don't like for people to use their strength, power, and authority to take from people that can't defend themselves. Meaning anybody that doesn't have equal strength, power, and authority, right? The average president, if he had to fist fight for his country, this country is in trouble. Because he'll stand up there and talk that shit, but when it comes time to knuckling up, ain't none of these motherfucking world leaders today about to go, if they had to, okay, we not sending our kids to war. You gonna fight, motherfucker? No, I ain't gonna be nowhere there. We not sending our babies to war. Right? Joe Biden, if you can't take your whole crippled, decrepit, dimension, zombie ass over there and fight Putin, don't talk about sending us to war over there. Putin will fight his ass. He ain't regular. He'll fight his ass.
Okay. Period.
Putin to roll his sleeves up and be like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
In Russian. He from that way. Like if he was over here in America, I swear he'd be chocolate colored from the hood.
I promise you, because he don't give a fuck.
You can't be no more from the gutter than Vlad.
I guarantee you, he don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Did you see that video I had posted where the girl wrote a letter to him? And she was like, we don't have anything to do with them. They don't even like us. Like, please excuse the bombs that they let off. We did not approve that. It was a black girl. I was weak.
Before the shit
I was cracking up.
Look, but before the shit get too out of hand, Danny gonna call Russia. You remember that song by Prince?
Wait. What song?
Run and talk to Russia before it's too late. Before it's too late. Before it's too late. Run and talk to Russia before it's too late. Before they blow up the world.
What? I didn't know about that song.
Yeah. Ronnie talked to Russia. That's when Reagan was in trouble. Now we got Donnie.
Okay.
We got Donnie J.
They say so they be comparing Ronnie and Donnie.
Yeah. So now we saying Donnie talked to Russia. Donnie talked to Russia before it's too late. You know that movie Howard the Duck was telling us about Donald Trump coming, right?
Who?
Howard the Duck.
Oh, okay. I remember that. That was when I was young, though.
Yeah. And so Donald the Duck is part of the program.
Okay.
But Howard Duck is not part of the program. He's the deviation from the role as Donald.
I remember that because Howard was before the new age, like Donald Duck. Yeah. I do remember that when I was younger.
Right. Just like Clinton was the Wag the Dog. There was a movie called Wag the Dog.
Yeah.
Where the president got caught up in the scandal and then he declared war so he can cover up the scandal.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the little Monica Lewinsky scandal when he did Operation Desert Fox, trying to cover it up. They tell us all this shit in the movies, but they put it in satire and entertainment, and we don't know it's related.
Yeah, they always put in that stuff. A lot of people. Okay, how do you feel about, now that we're talking about like the cartoons and stuff, how do you feel about, look, now you're on an interview, sorry. It didn't turn out. I didn't mean for it to turn out this way. But
go ahead, girl. Look, okay, hold on before you go. Welcome to this episode of Drea Talk with Drea. And we're going to give y'all some real talk with the Chief, Rod Hayes. Let's go, Drea. Let's turn it up.
Y'all be wanting to ask. Okay. So how do you feel about The Simpsons And how people say that they automatically like predict stuff that's happening. I just want your opinion. I have my thoughts, but I
The
want your opinion. Talk to me.
Simpsons is a CIA propaganda model. Kind of all of the episodes of The Simpsons is written by Central Intelligence agent operatives in the entertainment field. They got a staff of writers. There's not one writer. Operation Looking Glass is a predictive program, computer program, and it can show them certain stuff for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So using Operation Looking Glass, they turn it into a parody, and sometimes that should be spooky accurate.
Mm.
But it's not just The Simpsons. Now a lot of stuff is in Family Guy,
Yeah.
The Boondocks, right? That's because Hollywood was infiltrated back in the 50s by the CIA.
Okay.
And almost everything is some kind of problem. When you're watching a movie, it's not the movie you're watching. The question is, why would they allow me to see this particular piece of theater? What is they trying to get past me? Because in every movie, there is what does they call intelligence codes. Whether it's a can of Coke sitting on the counter, it means something.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a lady pouring a box of salt into the dinner, it means
Mm-hmm.
something. And when you are agent, you learn to read from the show assigned to you, have all your instructions in it, so that they don't have to come and see you face to face when you are cut out to give you instructions. Now they could put it in a public platform wherever you go, you could access it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's how they activating Manchurian candidates remotely now. The Jason Bourne story was going into it, but it didn't get all the way to the root. There's always one sleeper agent that can activate every sleeper agent once he's activated. Soon as he activates, the side effect of activating him is all of the rest of the agents is activated. This is what made Jason Bourne being the first functional operative under the Treadstone program, and I forgot the other one, but this is what made him so valuable to the agency, because when you watch through the seasons, you realize that he was the agent that if he's not neutralized, he's activating other agents by being activated,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now they trying to activate different agents to silence him, which is activating other agents to silence them, right? So you have the one, they call him the golden child in the intelligence world.
Mm-hmm.
The golden child is the operative that once he's activated, all of the Manchurian candidates, sleeper cells become activated. That's what the movie was about. That's why him failing his mission was so critical for them to try to get him back to determine how did he malfunction. He never malfunctioned, right? He
Mm-hmm.
fell into a state of amnesia from being lost at sea. Let that sink in for a minute.
Mm.
He was in a state of amnesia from being lost at sea. We are all classified as vessels lost at
Let's
sea.
see. Yeah.
And now that he's on the land, he's trying to remember who he is. The George Washington Challenge, in 200 years, they won't remember what side of the ocean they from, right? Tom Clancy is a former special forces agent. Everything he writes has to be edited through the Pentagon before he can release it. Because in all of his stories, he's using the information from being in an actual situation that he turned into a fictitious novel, and he can accidentally give out too much real information where you can actually pull up the government operation that he's talking about in his books. And now you got some people that's Tom Clancy fans that's so good that they can tell you which one of his books took place where in his during his tenure as a military asset.
Mm.
And it's another one, the one for the legal world is the one Tom Grisham. Right? Tom Grisham is an attorney, right? But he's some kind of way he's trained in like intelligence gathering because his books tell you so many secrets from the legal field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then for the medical field, my favorite is Robin Cook, right?
Why you say Robin Cook?
Mainly because of this book called Mutation, where he talked about enhancing the intelligence of the children by using special deep sea organisms and being injected into the fetus. And he
Mm.
created a child genius. But the book's called Mutation. It's a cold piece of work. But then I was already, the movie Coma made me read the book. And then I was just, because I liked the medical field anyway.
Yeah.
So when I started reading his books, I was captivated by the description of walking the corridors of a hospital, you know, smelling the disinfectant and the bandages that's stocked up in the cabinet as you walk down the hallway. Stuff like that I could relate to. When I was a
On a
little baby, I
podcast
had
or on the
epilepsy
show for
real
the first
bad.
time ever. This
So I
is
used to
history
live
to
in the
make it.
hospital.
Without further ado, to start the show, ladies and gentlemen, I want to
Yeah,
welcome
so
Seven
they tried
Bowball.
to
I
put
want
me
to
in a
welcome
cage because
Rod
I'd be
Hayes
anywhere in
to
the
the show. Oh man, you gotta have fun with this consciousness thing.
Absolutely.
Welcome, yo, it's a pleasure. Honestly, seriously though, it's a pleasure and it's an honor to have both of y'all here together at the same time. What's going on, gentlemen?
You know, you the first one to bring us together. And the first time I heard about him, I heard about him through Arisha Stone, which is the blood heir to Duddy Bookman.
Mm.
And he was like, "Man, you ain't heard of Seven Beaumont?" I was like, "No, it's about a couple years ago."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Man, you got to go check out Seven Beaumont." I said, "I'm gonna go check him out, see what he's talking about." And I was, been on to him since then, and he be dropping some fire.
Indeed.
Yeah, and like you say, he got the crispiest videos on the internet.
This brother, this is why, hold up, before you say something, and I'm gonna share the brother's links. I need everybody, like the white folks got their technology and they got their Mark Zuckerbergs and they got the dude that's ahead of OpenAI and they got dumb dudes. Like we got Seven Beaumont on our end. So I really want, as I share the links tonight, and I'm gonna ask the AI question and things of that nature, but I really want y'all to put this brother not just as a metaphysical speaker, but this guy is amazing when it comes to technology, AI, all that stuff. I really want y'all to get used to this brother and look at him through that lens. I'm gonna share the links. But with that being said, we'll talk about that a little later. Seven, Rod, welcome. What's up, Seven?
Well, first of all, I was already saying to everybody, I need to figure out where all the language is stored.
Yeah.
Because I'm so excited for this evening. Like the energy was so high. It's always like that. There's no feeling, when you know it's about to be big and you're right in the beginning of it, right? And for sure, I don't think you can really be in this space without knowing who Rod is. Like I'm a fan from the early videos. Like you could tell when there's that Gnosticism where somebody is really just tapped in and just going to give it to you as it is. And we can always respect that. And also, it's that time, we're rolling into 2025. We need to really be bundling up well together because we're building something. It's already built, right? And it's getting bigger. And, we want to make sure that everybody is maintained and managed, growing. Everybody's different. So each person is a unique key to a unique door. And, it's these type of way showers here that are bringing in them potent, masters for masters, I call it. We all gain something from each other and add that to that collective that we have on this side, but on the other side, we all dialed in anyway because we're all the same thing. And that's just the beauty of, you know, how synchronicity works. So I'm honored to be here. You know, I'm always going to come in doing my best, looking forward to moving me out the way. You know, I just know it's going to be lit. So however long it takes, I know people are excited. You know, they love to see us coming together too. So I'm feeling the energy, like I said. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Brother Rich, you glowing over there, by the way. I want you to know that. Your inner light is on. That between your wife and the new baby, you glowing.
The new baby. I got a new baby, y'all. I got a new baby. So listen, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's gonna lead. We gonna get this thing. We gonna start running fast breaks immediately during this show, y'all. We ain't gonna waste no time getting right into it. Rod talked about I just had a new baby. I just had a daughter, right? So check this out. This show we're talking about, it's called the Holy Costume. We got this costume that we're wearing. It's not really who we are, but we're wearing it, and we're pretending to be something, and we're experiencing this realm or whatever. A lot of general questions about spirituality and ancient history. We're gonna start out, because Rod mentioned my daughter. We're gonna start out like this, gentlemen. So there's a lot of times when, let's say, I'm gonna use Michael Jackson for an example. We'll see Michael Jackson, and then we'll see a picture of a pharaoh, and we'll be like, "Yo, Mike, look just like that pharaoh. What the hell?" I mean, the nose, everything, the face, the hair, it might just look just like that, and everybody knows what image pretty much I'm talking about because it's all over the internet. But there's countless examples. We may see somebody in Brazil. As a matter of fact, the dude from American Pop, they say, "Yo, Seven look just like that nigga. Oh my God, he looked just like Omar." Then we may see Rod, and we may see somebody in let's say Brazil or Africa, South Africa. Be like, "Yo, is that Rod Hayes? Oh, that gotta be Rod Hayes." So we're always seeing people who look just like somebody else. So saying that to say this, my daughter came out looking like my mother, and it was spooky. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like how she looked like my mother. Like it was like, because my girl is dark skinned, but my mother's light skinned with green eyes. My daughter came out light skinned with green eyes. I'm like, how the hell did my girl produce this baby? But so with that being said, we compare life to a video game. In a video game, a lot of times you have a certain amount of characters you could pick from to play from that video game. So I want to ask y'all, in this game we call life, is there a certain amount of characters that we could pick from? And this is why Seven looks like him, my daughter looks like her, Rod looks like him, I look like him, because there's only a limited amount of characters that we could pick from. So occasionally there's going to be a character that reappears throughout history. It looks like time travel, but it's really not. But it's just that we can only pick a selected amount of characters in this game we call life.
I'm gonna let Seven go first.
And you know that one right there, that could be the whole show right there.
Oh man!
Because look, let me just drive over it, and then Rod is gonna come in and ride through it, and then we'll see where we get to. So right away, I'm thinking we're gonna go high level occult right away, and then we'll make it back to the surface later on, right? So we know for sure in even disturbed, disease, whatever, and then they will have to work on that child spiritually. So it lets us really see that for sure all of the archetypes themselves are, we could say, quote unquote, in the stars. And then the manifestations of the main characters coming here are really just an act of the genetics and actually we'll say like soul genetics, who's mixing together to actually create this new path that this being is going to walk down, right? So you're on the journey. You ain't alone, obviously, because you're coming with the DNA. Like I have the same thing with my daughter. She's got the red hair. It's almost like blonde hair, like my father's. I didn't get it. So it's skip a generation and then come out the next generation over, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, I'm not trying to hog this up though today, man. I just I wanted to drop mine in.
Indeed, no, we're gonna keep it flowing. No, indeed, my brother. Go ahead, Rod.
So I'm glad he brought up the sequences of DNA, and he connected it to the certain amount of energies and how the women used to line up the birth of the child to the alignment of the stars. That's all what you call esoteric, mostly hermetic doctrine of information because hermetics primarily deal with genetics. In the genome, it's like a long radio station or radio receiver. Like you got a whole bunch of channels, right? But in order to get to the channel you want, you have to know how to align the DNA. The alignment comes in through aligning it with a zodiacal constellation. So this is the origin of the zodiac. The women figured out a long time ago before they made men that if a woman or a man, back then it was just a masculine energy or a feminine energy came in at a certain time based on the winter solstice, summer solstice, and the two equinoxes. You know when they coming in and you know what energies you are channeling, right? So you hear him say that the prayers of the mother is answered through the womb. Well, what was your mama praying for when she was gestating you? Because she was programming your DNA. Because they told her she was praying for an outcome in life, they didn't tell her that when you have a child growing in you and you continuously pray or be in a high stated negative emotion, either way, which is ultimate calm or ultimate chaos, that's going to mold your child. Okay. This is part of the sciences that we teach the doulas about when they instructing the mothers to give them back this information that we talking about. So what the mother is doing by bloodline is they literally dialing in the sequence on the genome. And this is when you start getting, it's only so many facial structures. It's 7 specific or key or root facial structures. So it's 7 to the 7th power of 7, right? Which is a 777 genome materialization, which means that each one of them 7s have 7 options to the 7th power of expression, right? So now if people are constantly being born, dying, you recycling or opening up frequency stations. The frequency stations is calibrated from a 3 chiefs to tell us if Rod Hayes told y'all what y'all needed to know, but if it's something else, they got to tell it.
Yep.